talk, I ain't stop until I get it right. There's no walls in this prison that can hold me down. No way, oh, I'm so out of here. Oh, way, oh, I'm out of here. Oh, way, oh, I'm so out of here.
Hi guys, I'm Nate with Good Mayhem Racing. This is my grabber Nav Mount that I use to mount Garmins and race cars. This is for a group called Team Loafers. They are the number 61 car in the Rhino Charge of 2025. That's right, this is actually going to a racing team in Africa. It's actually my first export. They are buying a couple of Garmins, a grabber nav mount, and some other accessories around the whole package. Got everything approved, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this in a race car, not just in another country, but another continent. So if you would like to learn about what Kier and his buddies are doing in Africa, it is something called the Rhino Charge, the spirit of the charge, if you will. It is a race that is a charity event, actually. It raises money to help the endangered rhinos in Africa and help recover that species and prevent poachers from taking them, and that's just a really cool thing. So I'm happy that Kier and his team have trusted me to build and provide their navigation solutions and SATCOMs. Now let's talk about the grabber nav mount and how you install it. I apologize for my hiccups. This is what the grabber nav mount looks like. It is box tubing welded together with two handles. This one is set up for a right-handed car, as in the passenger sits on the left side, so the kick-out opening is on the left. There are holes here, and these lock with the pin. So this is how the whole thing actually adjusts its length of pull for your co-driver, and if you want to, you can drill in other holes to make it more comfortable. You can also cut this overall length here a little shorter if this doesn't fit in your car for some reason. Let's see how it mounts to a roll cage. Right here is 1 3/4 inch tubing, also known as 44 millimeter. It is 120 wall, or right at 3 millimeters thick. I am unscrewing this beautiful tubing clamp. I apologize, Kier. It is not metric. These particular bolts are American. They are 1/4 inch by 20. The rest of the hardware I'll send you is metric because I'd like it to be consistent for you, but this one particular thing, I just can't buy it with metric dimensions here in the States. All 6 of these bolts go out, and the top of the clamp comes off like so. So it's a 2-piece clamp. Mount goes underneath, or if you're super creative, it can go up the top, but I don't see how you could do that. And the top half goes on like that. Okay, that's started. You've got 6 of these total to work with. 3 on the front of the mount and 3 on the back of it. And I have it tilted at an angle, so you should be able to access them all easily in your car after you've got your tubing welded in. Mine are very inaccessible just because I put all the screws straight up. Makes it a pain to adjust and fine tune. Okay, so look, you see how the back has a big gap right now? You want to choke that up as much as you can or are willing. I prefer the back bolts to be snugged up closer than the front ones are, and that's just because of the thread engagement that's here in the back. You get a little more than versus the front. The front has a little bit of weld on it, so I would like to improve that long term, but I haven't figured out how yet. This particular mount was made by Trail Gear, and I'm actually a dealer now for another company called TMR Customs, which is wonderful. I'm looking forward to getting the clamps from them. This thing is loose enough to move. This is how you adjust the tilt of the grabber nav mount. So for example, when you have your guys sitting in the car, you pull this out, and if it's too high, you just bring it down, and if it's too low, you bring it up. It's as simple as that. Once you get the grabber nav in the spot you want, just tighten these things down. They do not have to be super tight. You're actually tightening down 6 bolts. Remember that. Your clamping force is not produced by one. It is produced by many. Grabber nav mount is in. This is in the raw right now. I need to do the caps on both ends. I need to wrap the handles. I need to do some painting. But this gives you an idea on how you put it into the car. That latch on the bottom is what you pull to make it move. And this is how you hold on for dear life. Bring your hands underneath, pull down, and you can move it. There's 4 positions. And then you can take it out of the car. But again, you can drill new holes. How do you get the Garmin mounted to this kit? It is through these 4 bolt holes here. When the Garmin is delivered to you, it's actually mounted with this mounting bracket backwards. As in, you need to flip it around to make it work with the grabber nav mount really well. Like if I just mounted it like this, there's a little bit of a tilt, as in the Garmin is not parallel with the face of these things, and that really might be fine. But if you want it straight up and down like this, you have to physically flip them out. Loosen these up to enough to the point to where you can just pull it out, pull it a little bit, and it pops out. So you don't have to take out the bolts all the way or anything like that. You just got to make sure it goes back in and that you get it keyed right. These 4 bolts coincide with these 4 bolt holes here. Take your long screws that come with the kit, push them through. It doesn't really matter if you mount the Garmin kit in before you put it in the race car or after the whole assembly. So long as you just get these 4 bolts on there, you're good to go. For those who are curious, this is for a right-handed vehicle, as in the passenger sits on the left side, so their feet and extremities can more easily get out of the car. This usually blocks it, this opens it up. Now that all 4 bolts have been installed underneath the Garmin is put into place. Now you can fine-tune its tilt in your car. So bring this to a comfortable position, move it up and down to where it's in a good field of view and also easy to get in and out of. And once you have it in the right spot, let's say there, tighten it down. And you only need to loosen one side of your bolt clamp to make that happen. Like I'm only doing a quarter turn and now it's solid. It's not moving anywhere. You can take the Garmin out of the car. That is all of Garmin's feature set. These are the handles that you hold on to. And it's really nice because you can actually use it as a landing point to hit your buttons. A lot of setups don't have a way to do that. You're just kind of like hitting buttons, hoping and praying for it. This allows you to have a point to hold on to. You can put a radio button up here, things like that, and work the touchscreen with touchscreen enabled gloves. This is just a really nice way to work with it in a race car and hold on. And if you're doing a race like here is doing with the Rhino runs, it's a great idea. This is the grabber nav mount that I'm making for Garmin tread tablets and things like it. I'm Nate from Good Mayhem Racing. I will see you out in the desert, if not my garage, and here, have fun in Africa. Catch you later.